today I have you a virtual deck profile. That's what I've been piloting for the past few weeks at locals. And I recently went 3-1-1, tied with a pure Zoo player and lost to a Tri-Brigade Zoo player. I despise Zoo now. And my personal opinions, if you're interested, I think the deck is at least tier 2. Don't listen to SEMO. And I think this deck will possibly bump its way up to 1.5 after Bamos, possibly. Just depends what gets hit. Yeah, I can't take up too much time. We're going to get into it. So, before I show off cards, if you don't know what Virtual World do, they target a Virtual World card and then send a one of the opposite type. So, if I target a monster, I send a spell. And then if it has an effect like Lulu, I can add back I can add the third type. Alright, so we run the typical Virtual World package. We'll run Best Girl Lulu, of course, at 3. And then 3 Lalo, 3 Gigi, 3 Lily, and then I'm just gonna, I know this next pick might be a little controversial, but I do run 2 Nanian and the 1-2-2. Some builds just cut this overall, but it's came up for me a decent amount. It's very good versus Tikaboo, because it's an easy out to just get over that and build a board a little bit easier, but yeah. You don't have to run it. You could just run 2 Nanian, 3 Nanian, or the same package. But you do run the 3 Klingoling, sorry. It is the roto of the deck in a so form. And 2 Chuche, 1 Swanmu. I would not change this ratio at all. Very typical in Virtual World. I've not needed more or less just because this deck recycles so well. And 3 Qualoon really just gets you a name on board. It's an amazing card. Second effect never comes up, but. And then I do run 2 Foolish Goods. I'd probably cut this for triple tactics if I had it, but it's kind of just a budget card right now, and there's not really other cards I can run instead. And then 2 Desires, just for your consistency, because you can banish your traps. Like, it's not that annoying, but normally you would like to combo a little bit first, then Desires to try and get the extra piece you need. E-Telly, called by my 1-ubs. Make sure your plays go through, and then E-Telly. Kind of typical.
And do be hitting my Herald.
Do be hitting. We run for hand traps, Gamma Package. Gamma Package is probably better in this deck than other decks anyways. Just because you can discard like Psychics and Worms to get your effects off. Well, these are Psychics, but you can discard them to get your effects off and stuff. And Drive is not a full brick in hand, which is good. And it's very easy to get out of your hand, which is not even that important, but just saying, a little bit better, a little bit less bricky. And I do main deck the 3 Nib. My locals is full of just combo. And even if they can still play through it like Dragon Link, I mean, it just hinders their board. So I don't see a reason not to play it. Next card, I play 3 Ghost Belt because I don't have Ash. It's to stop Gamma because this deck does lose to Gamma pretty well. Cut the City of Ash, please. I'm going to be honest, just cut the City of Ash. Please. But yeah, that wraps up the main. I'm gonna get to the extra. In the extra, the level 6 XCs we play the 1 M7. Holy shit, this is probably the best rank 6 in the fucking game. It's just so good. Adding back your Lulu if you don't have access to GG, or even if you already have access to GG, you can add back like Lao and Lulu for a better even follow up. Fan, this card sucks. It's another ring 6. Typically, you normally just make this to swing so you can go into Zeus. So it has came up, but I mean, it's not a terrible card, but it has came up. I am going to be cutting this for Utopia Beyond because it makes it easier just going to Zeus and makes it way easier to kill your opponent. If you don't know what Beyond does, it basically, whenever it's summoned, makes all the attack of your opponent's monster 0. This is my Zeus package. I will say, you can either play Charger, or you can play the, trying to remember the name. I'm sure you know it if you're watching this video, but it's the rank 3 bird, makes you go into Zeus better, and Downard. This just frees up a spot, honestly. And if you run Beyond, you don't even need to worry about attacking anyways. Thunder Charger just frees up a spot, just slap it on for Zeus, and then Zeus, because it's Zeus. That card wins games. For my rank 6 Synchros, we'll play Coral, we do play this card. It's come up versus a lot of rogue decks. They can't add it because it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And also, just sometimes that Send is just so good. And like the Eldritch matchup, it's really good. Charge Order to just draw more. And also, it's also a level 6 for your XCs. And for the level 9s, of course, Shin, Walking Macrocosmos. I do play Drax. Some builds don't play this, or you just side it. I found that I had the room, so I just put it in the extra deck. Rebellion, this card's really good. You know, like, the pop effect most of the time is whenever you brick and you need to get to Lulu. There's a weird combo they can do with this, where you pop itself, then you add back one of your banished. Like, you banish the Lulu to pop, target itself, and when it's destroyed, you add back the Lulu so it can pop off with your Lulu for the combo. But it's really good. I don't see many builds play this. Honestly, I was just looking for a Synchro 12, and Kali Effect said it's good, and I threw it in, because, you know, we just too strong. But, yeah, it's just unaffected by card effects. That's 3K, unless you're playing versus Mathemax, then you're kind of fucked. But if you're playing Mathemax, you ain't trying to top. That's my fault. That's my fault.
Dolce Chateau?
Yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault.
Toxic.
And as most builds, the Tzolk'in combo. Crystalline Tzolk'in. And then the Mud Dragon for Kalga. Honestly, you can play Dragoon instead. I am playing this because budget reasons. Also, just legitimately, I think the card's better than Dragoon. Just because they don't get activated. They can activate one effect.
In more control formats. I'm sorry, more combo formats, probably. Yeah.
Because they're adding your Dragoon. They have to use all the effects to get to it. The only way they're going to out this, like, Kaiju. What else can out this? Kaiju's popping.
Removal.
1-for-1.
Like removal.
Yeah. 1-for-1 popping. And it's just pretty hard to out. And super good for the combo. It's basically just a typical board if you open a good hand for this deck now. Onto the side. Spell removal, 2 Cosmic, 1 Harpies. I mean, pretty typical. You can play 3 if you want. I just find 2 and 1 to be a fine ratio. 2 Kaijus for Dragoon. My locals play some weird stuff. Like unaffected things. Like there's a lot of Zoo. This just gets rid of the Link 3 really easily, so I don't have to like overextend just to get rid of the damn thing. You don't even have to play this really. I just like Kaijus personally. Also, I would cut this for the win-1 if I had them, but going first package. I played the 1 Importer and the 2 different dimensional ground. This card just makes people pass, like Dragon Link and stuff. And the Importer is just Importer. Just don't main deck this, please. You can main deck Importer if you need a spot. It ain't gonna hurt that bad, because if you do go first, this card can win you games, but I prefer to side it because the main deck's a little bit tight. This speaks for itself. 3 Phantasme. I thought about cutting it to 2. It's between cutting Kaijus to 2 or Phantasme, and I went with Kaijus. Please play this in your main or side.
It's a monster prosperity against Dragon Link.
Literally. And, like, if I have to go second in Phantasme versus Dragon Link, I get to draw 4 and just literally get my combo hand.
Yeah, and anti-clutter any parts of your hand that you already have.
And then this fucking card's great. I might main this soon. Lancia is just so good. Don't mind the comments. They're ultis. Don't worry about it. Just the lighting. It's my fault. And then the Jaja. It's a Dragoon out, so that's there. Literally you just swing, vanishes their monster, and then it's not destroyed. And then you can make Dragoon if you want. But yeah, that's my deck profile. I appreciate you guys stopping by to check it out. And if you want to pick up a deck that's going to do well, and if you're on a budget, this deck's perfect for you. You don't have to play Zeus, but if you can get the Zeus, it is definitely worth it. But thank you guys so much, and see ya.